Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakrash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth and all sincerity. Shalom. And this is going to be a very quick one. I just wanted to, as the title is, it says, watch. We all watch a lot of bullshit. We listen to a lot of bullshit. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm self, but in between there, I do watch a lot of different things. What's been on my timeline as of recently, especially here on YouTube Shorts, and I share them with brothers when they come my way if it's interesting. There's a lot of these bushmen, type videos. It be basically Edomites that basically be able to live in the woods and survive in hell. You know what I'm saying? And they do little videos where they give little tips like, how to start a fire without this or with this, or I saw a video the other day, and the point of me saying all this is, of course, we put our faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That goes without being said. But at the same time, the scriptures speak about having wisdom and having, the Lord, scriptures say wisdom raineth down skills. These are things that, honestly speaking, we should already know. Every Israelite man and woman and child, to a certain extent, should be able to survive in the wilderness with minimal things. Understanding how to using the resins of the trees to set fires. You can use pine resin to like I said, sometimes it's not even a matter of, we're all in captivity. We live in these major cities, so there's chances that, some brothers are more capable. There's a few brothers in my camp that are, they have the spirit on them and they're able to have the time and go camping, and that's beautiful. So, the Lord is not going to punish us for not having certain skill sets. Same thing with hunting. Some brothers have probably went hunting, know how to handle animals like a deer, and things of that nature. So many things, and that's okay. The Lord, I don't believe, and I know for a fact, the Lord's not going to punish us for our lack in these things. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to have some of these elements stored away in your mental Rolodex. You know what I'm saying? I saw this video, and a brother was, a brother was telling me about it, but then a video popped up on my feed where basically, hey, if you got a dryer, right, and that dryer lint, you could collect that dryer lint, just put it in a jar or a plastic bag with some matches, put the matches in a plastic bag. There's so many little things that can be the difference of surviving 24 hours and not. See, we live in this world where, and I'm thankful that Yahweh Shem Yahushai put the spirit on, the Apostle Tahar to bring out a deeper understanding of Isaiah 32 about rise up ye women that are at ease, and that, of course, we use that to speak about women, like actual women, but in general, that's the society. The society is at ease. This society is as a woman that's at ease, man. When you look at these people, 20 years, I saw a post about a month or so ago, and this woman was saying how in 20 or like 20, 30 years, how people's ability to make clothes for themselves, make food for themselves, protect themselves, do all of these different things for themselves has completely disappeared. It only took probably 20 years for all of that skill set to just disappear. Okay? So these people are at ease. And when all hell breaks loose out here, that's going to create such a, which the scriptures speak about as Jacob's trouble. is going to create such a hysteria and panic when you realize what you don't have. You understand? There's a level of cool and calmness and confidence that you'll have in the spirit if you have certain things. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out here that are going to have all of this stuff, but they're not in good case. The Lord is not with them. And I'm not speaking to that. And I'm not speaking in the spirit of pushing, having 40 pounds of rice or 1,000 pounds. I'm not saying all of that. I'm speaking to the generic understanding of certain things, you know, having a mind towards certain things, you know, having, you know, well, the scriptures, I'm on my phone and I don't have a physical apocrypha in here, but in the apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus, it speaks about the cheap things of life, having fire, wine, oil, flour. You know, these elements are things that if you just had, you know how much stuff you could do with flour and oil and water. You can make bread. You can literally make bread, bake bread, straight up. Flour, oil, right, and some water. You could make bread. You know, of course, you can get fancy with breads, but at the end of the day, a quick bread, you can do that with flour, water, and oil. And then if you have a pot and you stuff it in the pot, let it rise, and then you could bake it. You could cook bread on top of the stove. See, certain things like that this devil has stripped away from us. You know, he stripped this knowledge from us over years. You know, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that long ago that our parents, they were living. That's how you know through the spirit that Esau knew that he couldn't have closed this shit down in 2000. You know, these people out here are on a high level. You go back to 1999 and 2000, I'm gonna hit you with this. The average home had probably about half a year's worth of food in it. The average home. Okay, food was cheap. It was the average home had deep freezers. The average home had multiple refrigerators. The average home had pantries that was full to the T. The average home knew how to jar. You know, a lot of our aunts and uncles and grandparents especially knew how to jar things, jarring tomatoes and pickling things. You understand? Like that spirit is a spirit of surviving. These people out here aren't thinking about surviving because they've been pampered and put in a space to any moment you need something, you can go to the Walmart 24 hours. I mean, it's not 24 hours per se at this moment of time, but you get where the energy is coming from. You go to Publix, you can go to grocery store. I remember several years back, country ass Jake came and was putting cable in my house, and I had just came in the truth. It was like this is you know, over 10 years ago at this point, and he said when he first came up here, he's probably a couple years older than me. He wasn't like no 50, 60-year-old man. He probably was maybe at this point, he might be like 43, 44, maybe, if that. And he said growing up in the country, he didn't know about packaged meat. He said when he moved up here from the country, when he was younger, he said he was kind of like blown away by people eating packaged meat, like, you know, ground up packaged ground beef and steaks and chickens. He was so country. He said that their idea of if they were still hunting for the food type shit. And this is him within the last 30 years of his life. So from the mid 90s until recently, he still goes hunting like that. You know, some people out here are big boy hunters. All right. So again, how many people you know out here that live like that? How many people you know that hunt? How many Jakes do you know that hunt? Most Jake don't even fish. And I'm not even speaking as if like I said, I'm not Mr. Outdoorsy. I'm not that. But I'm just speaking in the spirit of you. It's better to have a idea and have it be in your spirit, and you never know, the Lord might be able to pull you back into that memory of like, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, I could use this and this and that and this. That'd be the way the Lord could work a miracle through you, man. But it starts with all of us putting the groundwork in. And like I said, it's not going to be, perfect. You shouldn't want it to be perfect. I'm not saying lean on this shit. But I'm saying through the years, I say it like this, right? I'm not speaking from no proud level of because there's a whole nother element to all of this too. It's an element of being outside in the elements and doing this shit as well too. It's easy to do this shit in a good sunny day when it's 80 degrees, but a show that I love to watch. I don't watch it all the time, but it's one of my favorite shows, and anybody that's around me knows I always talk about it. Is Alone, right? The show Alone. And in the show Alone, it basically dealt with it's where they take these people that are built up or know how to live in the woods and wildernesses and shit like that, and they put them in scenarios, and it's like, all right, you're out here, you got to survive, I think like 90 or 120 days or something like that, or whoever is the last to survive. You only are able to carry 10 items, and you're alone, and they just document it, and you see how, some people's ideas towards shelter, some people's ideas towards hunting, some people's ideas towards eating, and you get to really see what it is to be out there. Of course, that's an extreme thing, but it could be like that, and I'm not saying the Lord said, I know I'm just ranting, but Job, the 6th chapter, where basically what the scriptures say, that we shall laugh at famine and destruction. The beast of the beast of the field shall be at peace with us, and the rocks of the mountain shall be in league with us. Roughly paraphrasing, because the Lord is going to be with us, and I believe that, man. You got to believe that as well. And like I said, I'm ranting. I saw a video recently. I recorded it, and I think I wanted to do a lesson, but I'll speak on it here because it's not maybe lesson worthy. But this guy had some crackers on a windowsill, and that was one too. They showed a crow which a crow and a raven are relatively, they're close to the same. They're very smart birds, and the raven, or the crow, excuse me, was picking up recycled trash, like bottles and stuff off the ground, and putting it in the recycle bin. And I was like, see, if that bird is smart enough to do that, I believe that bird is smart enough to bring us food in a time of trouble, man, as the scriptures have said. I believe that. Okay. So again, I'm not gonna make this much longer, but in the spirit of it, hey man, get yourself acquainted with these videos, man. Yeah, LeBron and his 29th season is awesome, sure. Such and such fighting such and such. That's awesome. Good clips. Well, we love all of that. But at the same time, there's some shit out here that you can put into your spirit that'll carry you a lot longer than knowing how many fucking rebounds LeBron James has been averaging in his 20th season. All right. So really, you really want to make sure that, like I said, the length. That's what I was gonna say. I seen a video where Buddy took one of them square batteries, like a square battery, whatever those square joints are, right? And he took like a wrapper, like how like candy has wrappers, like the metallic wrapper, the aluminum wrapper, like chewing gum, and he put the pieces of that aluminum wrapping to both sides of the battery, and then he put that to the lint, and he started a fire. Then he was able to put more stuff on it and build it up. Watch videos on how to build a fire. There's a specific way. You just don't make a fucking pile. Look up rocket stoves. Look up, I forget the term how Gad would dig holes in the ground. It's like they would dig a hole where the wind is blowing upward, and then another hole where you put the fire and it creates less smoke. These things are not hard things to remember, man. They're not hard things to remember, but that's why I said if you just watch it, you never know. Through the spirit, it'll soak into your spirit, and then when the moment calls, you may be able to all I need is some tape, some scissors, and some battery. or different things in the woods. Me and a brother was talking about that. Like, oh, certain branches. Like I said, knowing about the resin. I learned that years ago from I want to say Elder Yashawan, but I remember when the spirit was getting real big on the resins. And like resin. You could use pine resin to start a fire. That resin that's on those trees, you could use that to be as a torch, using branches. There's so many different things, having a gill net. You could buy a gill net right now for a couple dollars. You could put that in a stream. I'm telling you, watch that show alone. You start to see how, man, certain things, if you don't know a clue about, you will be fucked up. Oh, I'm going to say this in closing because I got to go in this store. I learned this from watching the show alone. I would have not known this shit nowhere else. That's why I'm going to put this out here in the spirit. If you, let's just say the spirit had it where you do kill a deer. Let's just say you kill a deer. You kill a deer, an elk. And now this might not be so amazing to people that have done this, but to me, I was like, oh shit, I got to remember that. If you kill an animal like that and the liver is spotted, like it's a spotted liver, don't eat that. Don't eat the animal, right? Because that represents the fact that it was something diseased or cancerous within that animal, so you can't eat that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's things like that that are just a simple, okay, you ain't got to be Mr., survival of the fittest and, Rambo, and you don't got to be, Metal Gear, Solid Snake from Metal Gear eating. You ain't got to be all of that, man. But understanding these things, understanding not to eat roadkill. You can't eat an animal that you didn't kill or you didn't witness be killed. So let's just say, I give you an example. I'm going to close up here. A deer gets hit by a truck, right? The deer gets blam, dead deer on the side of the street. You saw it. You saw the deer get hit by the car. You can eat that because you saw it die. But let's just say that deer got hit 5-10 minutes prior to you being right there and you ain't see it, but you just see a dead deer on the side of the road. It could have been 2 minutes before you got there. You can't eat that because you don't know how long. You got to remember, when a thing dies when a thing is dead, an animal dies, a human dies, or whatever, the death in itself, the decaying process begins instantly. So you got to be mindful of all of these elements. A lot of people out here are about to find themselves with crazy ass diseases and sicknesses and problems because they just aren't even in the mind frame of being conscious of these type of decision makings. They're so used to this city boy and city girl lifestyle, your lemon pepper steppers and your Chelsea boots and skinny jeans and the fedora hats and all that shit, and going to expensive bars drinking $40 Long Island iced teas and shit like that. Everybody's used to this luxury, dainty life, not thinking about you might have to be in a moment where you might have to dig a hole. You know how serious it gets living in these wildernesses and situations where people in certain areas. Remember that movie Revenant? Leonardo, that's a good movie to watch too. Watch that movie Revenant, man. That whole movie, man, Leonardo DiCaprio said that's like the hardest movie he ever did. Okay? And movies like that. The horse that he was with, it was so cold outside that the horse that he was with died, and he cut the horse open and slept inside the horse. He slept inside the cavity of the horse to survive the wilderness. God forbid the Lord put us in scenarios like that, but I'm speaking in the spirit of that's how far removed these people. These people don't think about shit like that. These niggas out here can't change tires. These niggas out here can't even change a flat tire. Right? Let alone other shit. You ask a nigga to change his flat tire, he looking at his bitch like, equality, why don't you get out and change? This is what I'm saying. Jacob's trouble, man. The Lord gonna turn these men to hoes, and these hoes to little fucking woodland creatures, man. And everything out here gonna be predatorial, and it's gonna be on your ass, man. All right? Scriptures, and I quoted earlier in Job, the 5th chapter, about the beasts of the field shall be at league with thee. Okay, well, again, I was watching another clip. This guy, he was walking through the mountains, And it was like a funny clip, and you see his face, and he's like, oh, and he scrolled, he zoomed out to a tree that was kind of down the way. And if you weren't paying, he saw the mountain lion that was like literally in the tree high up. A lot of people, man, they're not prepared for this type of shit. And we're not prepared for this type of shit. That's why the scriptures say that the Lord gonna have the beasts of the field be at league with us. Yo, no, we ain't ready to go out and be in them fucking woods. You know what type of niggas is treating the fucking black bear like it's the brown bear, treating the brown bear like it's the black bear. You don't know what the fuck to do when you in front of pumas or bobcats. You don't know what the fuck to do with any of this shit. Cause we've never been put in predicaments to really have to think about this shit. The most of our extended period of being in a Babylon the Great has been in fucking cars, been in houses, been in malls, been in schools, been in restaurants. Most of us ain't been we ain't been fishing. I haven't been fishing in over 20 years and I'm in my 30s. Let alone hunting. I've been blessed to be around people that I've done that, but I haven't, we in the thick of captivity, man. So think about all these things. I ain't gonna make this too much longer. I just want to throw that out there in the spirit of be mindful of these things, shift your algorithm on your social medias and your YouTubes towards a more of a, oh, okay, that's how that works. I'm telling you, it'll be helpful. Get you a good, me and a brother was saying about this, get you a good blade, man. Get you a good knife. Get you a good knife, man. That's one of my next investments, man. I'm not talking about carrying on some bullshit, tough guy shit. I'm talking about get you a nice full tang and that's where the blade goes all the way through the handle knife, man. Because a knife like that, you could split logs with that. You could split small logs with a good blade, and now you got firewood. You could scrape some of the wood off of it to shave it. Now you got a fire starter. Like, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just having mindset towards, let me see what I can do. I might be able to get a blade here. Let me put some water away. Let me put some rice and beans away. Candles. Get you some candles. Right? Get you some candles. I tell you what I was just watching earlier, and I'm gonna close up. I say that, but how to make charcoal. Charcoal it makes the wood easier to start, where you could light the charcoal and put your sticks and your brush and everything over it. But it's easy to make fucking charcoal. It's a very easy thing if you know in your mind. Like, oh, okay, that's easy. You just got a can, make some holes in the top so the oxygen can release, the gases can release. You put your sticks in the thing, put it in the fire, cover it with fire, let that cook down for like 2-3 hours, let it cool off. Boom, you got charcoal. You could use that charcoal to filter water. It's as activated charcoal is basically. You get what I'm saying? It's a charcoal. You could filter water with that at this point. Start fires. So with that, let me get out of here, man. All right, I pray that this was informative and edifying. Lord willing, I'll come back later with another one. But I want to go ahead and give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders. Shalom to all the brothers that tuned in and was watching. Shalom to you all.